and shared success. A sincere welcome sets the stage for meaningful exchanges and unforgettable memories. The heart of any successful event begins with a warm welcome, bringing people together and inspiring collaborations. And it is with a great pleasure that we welcome Dr. Helen Crompton to our motherland, a place rich in culture, history, tradition, hospitality, and boundless opportunities for learning and connection. Dr. Helen Crompton, the Executive Director and Professor of Rich Institute for Digital Innovation in Learning, ODU Global Instructional Technology at Old Dominion University. She focuses her research on technology integration and learning with technologies such as artificial intelligence, mobile devices, and virtual mixed augmented reality. Dr. Helen Crompton is the CEO of Crompton Consulting, and she is on Stanford's list of the top 2% of the scientists in the world. We welcome you to our country. Welcome you, ma'am. I feel extremely glad to welcome everyone to this much awaited international workshop, and it gives me immense pleasure to stand in front of the most esteemed personalities who have won accolades in their respective fields. Before we kickstart the workshop, I would like to express my gratitude towards all of you who have sincerely contributed to this event in order to make it a success. This couldn't have been possible without the support of each and everyone present here. With great enthusiasm and honor that I welcome you all to this international workshop on mastering generative AI for education. On behalf of the organizing committee, I am thrilled to have such a diverse and talented group of individuals gathered here today, both in person and virtually from all corners of the world. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my warm welcome to Mr. Joseph, language instructor, IIT Delhi. Sir, we are honored to have you here today, and our heartfelt thanks for being with us. Let's today make this event an enriching and memorable. Welcome you, sir. It is my distinct honor to welcome our distinguished guest, Tirupur. Your gracious presence today reflect your unwavering commitment in supporting educational endeavors and promotional global collaborations and learning. Welcome you, sir. It is with a great honor and privilege that we welcome Secretary Reverend Sister Dr. Helen to our international workshop. We are truly privileged to have you with us today, and your presence adds great value to this gathering of minds from all around the world. Welcome you, Sister. With a great pleasure, we will welcome our Principal Dr. Sahaya Tamil. Truly privileged to have you with us today, and your presence is a significant contribution to the success of this event. Welcome you, ma'am. With great excitement and enthusiasm that I welcome all the sponsors, participants, faculty members and students. We are truly elated and excited to have you with us today. Welcome you, and once again, let's together make this workshop a truly transformative journey.
Most respected Reverend Sister Dr. Helen, Secretary, St.Joseph College for Women, the most eminent director of this workshop, Dr. Helen Crompton, Professor and Executive Director, Old Dominion University, Virginia, United States of America, Mr. Joshua Yanisathan, English Language Instructor, IIT Delhi, Mr. Mohan Karthik, Correspondent of Kids Club Group of Institutions, well-wisher, and departments, faculty members, research scholars, and student participants from across the state and global. A very good morning. It is both a privilege and honor for me to address in this international workshop on mastering generative AI for education. Today, we stand at the intersection of two transformative fields, education and artificial intelligence, poised to reshape the way we learn, teach, and connect. Education has always been the cornerstone of human progress. It equips the individuals with the wings of power to imagine and innovate. As we have the gift of living in this age, we are witnessing the openness of digital transformation, paving a way for a digital divide. If you are able to update with tools and apps, you are in the game. You can enjoy the luxury of living. Otherwise, if you refuse to be updated, you lose literally the ground under you slips away. You are discarded, you are obsolete. You get the feeling that you are no more part of the world, part of the game, such as the power of technology, otherwise power of AI. We as St.Joseph scholars from Women Tirupur are always aware of this revolution. You can call it as a competency to adapt, to indulge in the realm of digital transformation. This calls for the context of organizing this international workshop. Indeed, the fourth international conference based on AI to be organized by various departments within this academic year. I'm sure this workshop will offer a unique platform to explore the emerging pathways of mastering generative AI for education. I believe the guest and the director herself justifies the exclusivity, the exceptionality of this powerful workshop. I would like to offer our appreciation and acknowledgement to Dr. Helen Crompton for accepting to graciously be present here in person. Such a high-hearted person she should be for taking 2 long days of traveling from America, only to attend this, only to help us sharing her expertise. As you can see, she has transformed herself to be a purely an Indian woman and that too a Tamilian woman. We are very happy to have you here in our ethnic year. Behalf of St. Joseph's fraternity, let us offer our wishes and prayers for their incredible future ahead. Our appreciation to Mr. Joshua for making his special presence as a guest again. Let me congratulate the convener, Dr. Rajalakshmi, head of the department, the co-convener, Ms. Lalita, along with the organizing committee members of the faculty. Ms. Gayatri, Dr. Sunita Clarissa, Ms. Merlin Infanta, Ms. Kritika, and the team of students, Department of English Literature, for taking such a big effort in organizing this workshop. Kudos to the team. St. Joseph's College for Women is not an institution from Mumbai, Chennai, or Bangalore, or not in any of the metropolitan cities. It is only an urban-based institution. Still, we are able to successfully organize this fourth international workshop in line during this academic year 2024-25. This is made possible because we have the driving force, Reverend Sister Dr. Helen, our Honorable Secretary, with her indomitable motivation and inspiration. Thank you, Sister. It is made possible because of the well-wishers, supporters who are amongst with us. As we embark on this journey, let us remember that while technology can create opportunities, it is our shared vision and collective action that will determine the impact of those opportunities. Together, we can co-create a future where education is not just better but reimagined. May this workshop inspire not just ideas but action, not just innovation but transformation to unlock the potential of generative AI for education's bright future. My cordial wishes to all the participants. Thank you. Wish you all a good day.
Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us and we are song underneath. A blessed morning to all of you. The distinguished guests, Mr. Mohan Karti, correspondent, Kids Club Institutions, Mr. Joshua Lancaster, Language Unified IIT Delhi, Principal Dr. Sahai Shanti, Dr. Rajalakshmi Head and Associate Professor Department of English, respected faculty members from other colleges, and my dear professors, esteemed participants, and my dear students. It is my great honor to address this gathering for the International Workshop 2025 themed Mastering Generative AI for Education, Tools, Techniques, and Training Strategies. This workshop is a celebration of knowledge, creativity, and innovation in the age of artificial intelligence. Before we delve into the events of this day, it is important to acknowledge the extraordinary efforts of one individual without whom this workshop would not have been possible. That is none other than Dr. Helen Crompton, the workshop director. Despite encountering visa challenges that prevented her from attending the initially scheduled workshop in the month of October 2024, Dr. Crompton exhibited unwavering determination and adaptability. She went above and beyond to adjust her travel plans, ensuring that valuable insights could be shared with us today. On behalf of everyone here, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Crompton for her relentless efforts and dedication to making this event a reality. I would also like to extend my deepest appreciation to convener Dr. Rajalakshmi, the head of the department, the co-convener, Mrs. Lalita, assistant professor from the Department of English, organizing coordinators, assistant professors Mrs. Gayatri, Dr. Sunita Pianissa, Ms. Malini Infanta, Ms. Kritika, who have worked tirelessly to bring this event to fulfillment. I am very grateful to the responsible and hardworking students of English literature to make this program a good start today, and I hope it will go on well. Their meticulous planning and teamwork have ensured a platform for students, faculty, and participants from diverse disciplines to engage a meaningful exploration of AI's potential in arts, sciences, humanities, and engineering. This year's theme highlights the transformative power of generative AI in education, exploring its role in storytelling and art through competitions like AI story and AI art. With the participants ranging from students and special needs and students of St.Joseph's and Kangeyam High Secondary School, the faculty, and even the international delegates, this workshop promises to be a melting pot of ideas, creativity, and innovation. I hope today serves as an inspiration to us all, sparkling curiosity and paving the way for groundbreaking applications of AI in education. Thank you once again to everyone who made this workshop possible. Let us commence this informative and inspiring journey of learning and discovery together. Wishing you all an enriching experience. God bless.
It is wonderful to be here. Thank you for those who were waving then. Yes. Hello. Okay, are you ready for the presentation? Who used artificial intelligence before ChatGPT? Who used artificial intelligence? Yes, a little bit, and no. Okay, nobody? Okay, who used it since ChatGPT? Yeah? Okay. Well, let me tell you, you've all been using artificial intelligence for many, many years. If you use Google search, you've used artificial intelligence since 1998. Artificial intelligence is in so many things that we do on television, even just going to websites and clicking on links and going to chat with a little chat bot. You've been using artificial intelligence all this time. What's happened now, though, is it's more obvious. We understand now that we are talking to artificial intelligence. So, this is important to know. There's been great many changes in education and how we understand and get to learn information. There's been 3 major times in history. The first one, second one as well. The first one is the Gutenberg printing press, where there was books that allowed everybody to have information. The second one, I'm sure you'd have guessed it, but the internet. And then the third one, I'm not doing very well with this mouse, I don't think. The third one is, what do you think the third one is? Chat GPT. Okay, ladies, I think I might just say next. And you press the next button. Because it doesn't seem to be working for me. Oh, there we go. So the third one is Chat GPT. Now what's important is, this is changing our lives. This is changing the whole world. And that's not exaggerated, it's making a huge difference. Next. So this is how all this change started. OpenAI, the company that made ChatGPT, OpenAI got with Microsoft, and Microsoft gave them $1 billion. That's a lot of money. But it created ChatGPT. Then, next, we've gone to next, that's great. Then Microsoft gave them 10 to 13 billion and said, yes, I'd like you to do more. And then we've got here, you're moving a little bit too quickly, can you go back? I'll try the mouse again. Okay, so this is good, leave on this one. And so then what happened was, Microsoft and OpenAI decided artificial intelligence is a big thing, and we are going to put together $100 billion. That is a lot of money. And what they created was Stargate. So in a few years, we're going to have Stargate, which makes a lot of power to be able to have lots more artificial intelligence. Now, if you think about this is just 2 companies that are going to make us have lots of artificial intelligence. But you have to remember, next, that there's other companies like Google. They've done lots of things with artificial intelligence as well. Yeah. So let's look at what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is a chatbot. So if you look on the left at the yellow, you've all probably, many years before you used ChatGPT, you probably used a chatbot. So on a website, if you wanted to buy a sari, you might go onto a website and there might be a little chatbot in the corner that you type in and say, okay, I'd like to buy a sari. And it would say, okay, how much? What colour? And you'd go back and forth with this little chatbot. Well, that chatbot knew a certain amount of information. The other one on the right is an advanced chatbot. So ChatGPT is only a chatbot, but it's very advanced. So let's have a look how advanced. Next. It is like having your own personal assistant, someone that knows everything. So this expert assistant here answers all sorts of questions, can do all sorts of things. Next. So let's have a look what it can do. Okay, so many of you put your hand up to say that you use ChatGPT. Those that didn't use it, look carefully because this is how it works. So what we have on the screen, we have a bar at the bottom, just like Google, where you type in what you want. And I've typed in, I wanted a 20-minute lesson plan. I can ask for whatever I want. Now click it once and the video will start. Just once. And look what happens. So ChatGPT is just giving me what I asked for. And this was in real time. So ChatGPT is answering my question. Now, many of you that have used ChatGPT are probably thinking, wow, I've been brought into here to tell me something I already know. Well, I'm going to go a bit further than things that you probably don't know now. So we've got ChatGPT that can answer our questions, but can you click next? We have another version of ChatGPT. So we have, and don't worry about the numbers, but as I'm explaining, we have the 4.0 version, 4.0, which on that version, it's free to everybody. And that was the one you just saw. This next version, what it's doing here is it's not just pulling from data, it's actually thinking, it's processing. So what's happening here is I've asked it a tough question. So you can see there, I've asked a question, like a problem-solving question about, where people are. I'm not sure whether you can read that, but I'll read it nice and quick. So I've said there are 5 people, A, B, C, D, and E. 5 people. A is watching TV with B. E is playing table tennis. D is sleeping. Suddenly a call came on the telephone, and B went out of the room to pick up the call. What was C doing? So now this is a problem, because we were not told anything about C. So this is a problem that it's trying to work through. So click, and watch what it does. It's going up to the top, it's choosing the 01. So if you're using the 01 version, it now thinks. It's noting the problem, tracking C's actions, it's doing things, it's processing. And it's told us the answer. C is playing table tennis with E. I can see some of you nodding, working it out. So we didn't just ask it to pull data in. What we did is had it thinking, processing. Now that's very impressive, but we've got more to come. Do you remember me saying that we're just going to keep moving very quickly? On the next slide, this is a graph. And what's happening in here, it's showing you the version that we just used where it was thinking, it was processing. That is the red dots. So the red dots are 01, the one that was thinking. There's now one that's not quite available yet, but any time now, called 03. And so 03, look at how clever it is. So in science, PhD scientists that would score a 70% on a test, this can score 87. So this is scoring higher scores than very advanced, very learned people. So this isn't out yet, but it's literally any time. They're just looking through and making sure it's safe. So next. But let's have a look back to our expert assistant. You might think, well, it's processing, it's thinking, but it can't do other things that a human can. Yes? But it can. It can be intelligent. It can be creative. It can make poems, it can make songs, it can be creative. It can also be empathic. Empathic meaning have feelings, read emotions. But remember, AI, artificial intelligence, is all brain and no heart. So it's not like humans, but it can mimic what we do. So click next. So here I'm going to give you an example, and you'll have to, I don't know whether there's sound on here, hopefully there is, but I'll explain it otherwise. This program is called Hume, and it works with all the other artificial intelligence to have artificial intelligence be thoughtful of our feelings. So it listens to voice, and if it sees us, it looks at our facial responses, smiling or sad. And so click. So I'm having a conversation with it. So I have a choice here of different voices. Then I have a choice of ChatGPT 4 or different ones. I can choose which one. And then I'm going to have a conversation. Okay, so I don't know whether you heard things throughout. So you have to be careful when you're talking to ChatGPT or any of them. If you're using your voice to speak, it's listening. You look, they're all very similar. They all have a bar for you to type in. But what's worth knowing is Claude is a lot more ethical. It's careful in what it's thinking about. So we need to remember that if we want to be very ethical, if we want to think about how AI is being used, Claude is used in many schools around the world. You might have seen on media things where OpenAI, people from OpenAI were moving over to Claude because they wanted to be more ethical, so they moved over. But what I like about all of these is if I've got a question I want answering, I can literally go to all of them, ask them the same question, and see what happens. So now I'm going to give you just a few minutes now. Go on to, if you've been on ChatGPT, perhaps explore another one of these. And I'm going to come down and have a look. Okay? Do they have laptops?
Yes.
They take the time perhaps now to explore one on your phone, perhaps ChatGPT, because I'm going to show you some things in a few minutes that are very interesting. And you'll all be rushing to try and get it on your phone, so take a look. And I'll have a wander around just for a few minutes. Not ChatGPT, it's a different one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're on your own website, yeah.
She's asking something.
Ah.
I don't have mobile phones right now. Can you just show me a new please?
Yes?
She want to know the app. Break 11:30 we can.
Well,
Install the ChatGPT in your mobile phones.
ChatGPT. Yeah?
For what ChatGPT is useful?
Oh, I'm going to show you. It's very useful.
They are plus 2 students. I'll try.
Very impressive. Yes, yes. Okay, should I?
We'll have a break. We'll have some snack.
Okay. and they're available to you because I actually checked that, make sure you had it. So these won't be on your phone as much as your laptop or your PC. So watch carefully. We're going to start the recording in a minute, but just watch what it can do. Okay, is everyone ready? Okay, start the video. So watch carefully what's going to happen here. I could just do a normal search, like explain the misuses of generative AI in education. I could go and do a normal search, but watch everywhere it got the information from. So you can do a normal search, or you can click on the globe and tell it to do an internet search. It's still very clever. Now watch very carefully as we go on to the next one. Just click once. You have to watch very carefully, but this will be a change maker. So if you've used ChatGPT, or again you've not, when you're using ChatGPT, you can use it very differently. So what's going to happen now is we're going to click on Canvas. So watch the recording and I'll tell you what's happening. Can you see that's better? We can see now. Okay. Right, watch carefully. I'm write a summary statement to describe electrical circuit. So I'm asking it to do something, but instead of just clicking on go, I'm going to do something different. Watch carefully. I'm going to go over here to the toolbox. There's the search button, but I'm going to go again. I'm going to click on tools, and I'm going to go to the bottom one, Canvas. And I'm going to click Canvas. When I do that, you can see the blue writing appears next to it. And watch carefully what happens. So this is a different type of search. You see how it's gone into a box on the right? So what's happening now is, this is a place where I can work with the artificial intelligence. So on the right there, I can do all sorts on the left, but on the right I can change the text. Can you see me changing the text? If you can't at the back, I'm literally getting the text and I'm changing it. And at the top, I can click and it will show me the track changes. But watch carefully because this is very fun. So that's showing the track changes. But now in the bottom, you see that little pencil? That's given us lots more options. Like the first one there lets us make it longer or shorter. So adjust the length. I can adjust the length to really long to really short. And then I click on the button and it'll change it. So you know when you get lots of text and it's too much, you can tell it you want it shorter. And you see how it's changing it to shorter. Now the next one is the reading level. You can change the reading level. If it's a little bit too difficult for you, you can change it to a lower level, or you can change it right the way up to graduate school, so very advanced. And I click on it. I've done high school there. I click. And again, you can see it flowing through and it will change the reading level. I think you'll like the next one. And there we've got just a final touch, but look at this, add emojis. You could get your text, you can add words, and if I click on this, it's going to change the words to emojis. Can you see? So what's happening there is some of those words to do with electrical and switches and things, it's made now into little pictures. So your text could have little pictures in. Okay, so click on next. So I'm not going to have you explore at the moment because you all go very shy when I come out there. And so I'm going to carry on showing you what else there is. So remember, to be able to change the text in ChatGPT, you need to make sure that you go to Canvas, Toolbox and Canvas. Okay, so this is where you can have a lot of fun. So I don't know whether you've got pencil and paper or you've got your phones and you can type in to remember some of these, but there's many other things. We don't have to just do text. We can do images. You can do images in ChatGPT, but these are other tools that are free that you can also use. Deep Dream Generator, that's another tool that you can use. Again, if you want an image of something, you can have it create there. Sora and Vidu, that creates videos. And the bottom there, audio, it's like audio, but without the A. So what's happening is all these are creating different things. You're creating audio, video, or pictures. Now, some of you might think, well, that looks too advanced, but it's not. It's very, very easy. All you have to do is type in, like you did ChatGPT, and it will give you what you've asked for. So next, here's an example. So this is Adobe Firefly, and next, and you'll be able to see me typing in what I want. Create an image of students using a laptop outdoors, and I hit generate, and it's going to make 4 pictures. On the left-hand side, if I want to change things, I can choose a style. But can you see on the right-hand side, I now have my 4 pictures. So all I did was type in what I wanted, and it's given me images. Okay, next. This one is just something I added in. It's very, very recent. It's called Napkin AI. And if you want a diagram of something, maybe you've got a flow chart, like how to make toast. You could have a step-by-step. If you go to Napkin AI, which is free, it will create an image for you, like a diagram. Next. Okay, this is audio. And it's such a shame that I can't demonstrate it at the moment because it's down there. But write this down if you've got a pencil or type it on. Audio, again, free. I don't pay for any of these. What you can do is, on the very top bar, you can see it says a detective story solving a mystery. But you just type in there, I want a song, for my friend who's just passed an exam or something. You can ask for a song in anything. Think about things you've got to remember for school. There's certain things that are hard to remember. You could say, write me a song about ecosystems, about whatever. And you know what's even more fun? You can choose the style. You can choose pop, country music, everything. They've got everything. Rock, indie. There's many different styles. And you can also choose the language that it sings in. So in fact, you don't have to even press buttons. Where that bar is at the back, at the top, you can just type in, I want a song about this. I want you to sing in this language, and I want it to be in the style of pop, whatever you want. And you hit go, and it'll make 2 songs. Now, these songs are really, really good. So artificial intelligence, when it first made text, type, it was okay. When it made images, it got a lot wrong. But with music, it's completely different. And everybody I show this to always says, wow, I can't believe it just made that, and it's making this song specially for you. So it's not getting it from the internet, it's not doing anything like that, it's just making you a song. So do have a look at that, especially if you're having to remember things for school. Music is very helpful. Okay, next. So feel free as well, if you see on these slides and you want to remember something, you could take a picture with your phone. I have a lot of people doing that. On this, it just gives you 2 lists of things you might like to try. For visuals, for images, Canva, Firefly, Generative, and ChatGPT. If you want to make music, you've got Udio and Soda. These are all free. Okay, next. Okay, let me teach you now something that's important. You probably all heard the term large language models, LLM. What large language models are computers that run on a great deal of information. You can see steps there. Lots of information is put in, like books, internet information. Then the model's trained, it's being told what to do. And then we've got programs like ChatGPT. We type in a prompt and it gives us an output, it gives us what we want. So you have to remember that every time you are using programs like ChatGPT, it is learning from you. So when you are using these programs, it's looking at what you're typing and remembering that information. So what you need to do is never put personal information in. So never say your full name and give it details about you, because it's going to then store it and it might come out in somebody else's prompt. So be careful. Next. GPT. We hear that a lot. Again, this isn't just computer science, this is things you need to know. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which is easy, because generative, it generates something, it makes something. Pre-trained is it's been given a lot of information, and transformer is more computer science. But generative and pre-trained are very important for you to remember. Okay, next. Yeah, thank you. Okay, misuses and limitations. This is important for you to remember, especially those that are in school or carrying on their studies. So I've done a lot of research and we found these issues: cheating, inaccuracies, plagiarism, bias, and data privacy. Okay, cheating. Yes, you could have it do some work for you, but you wouldn't learn anything. So the way I tell my students is, if you are working on an assignment and a friend came to your house and that friend helped give you pointers, perhaps said change this writing here, that's great. That's a really good friend that's come over to help you. But if that friend comes to your house and does that assignment for you, that's not okay. So do remember that don't use it for things that you should be doing. If you're supposed to be learning, make sure you're learning. Inaccuracies and hallucinations. It gets lots of things wrong. It's getting better, but it does get things wrong. So on this one, somebody asked how long it takes to go across the English Channel on foot. That's a body of water. It's absolutely impossible and you didn't realise. Next. So this is a funny one. Hopefully you can see it. But basically, AI is saying, according to UC Berkeley geologists, that's people that study rocks, people should eat at least one small rock a day. So it's telling them to eat rocks. Do we want to eat rocks? No. So it's got muddled and telling people to eat rocks, so it's gone wrong. Yeah? Have you ever been told not to run when you're carrying scissors? Well, according to artificial intelligence here, it's saying running with scissors is a good thing, but it's not. So again, it's got things wrong. Yep. So we have to remember as we're using the tool that it's not always going to get everything perfect. Plagiarism, it can get things from different places that it shouldn't do. Bias, because of all the information that's gone in, a lot of that, in fact all of that, was generated by humans. So all the information that's gone in to teach the AI is biased. So we have to remember that sometimes it can be biased. Also, it's looking back at historical data. So things like in history, when women couldn't do certain things, it sometimes pulls from that. So we've got to remember that hopefully they're going to change it soon and it shouldn't do that. Yeah. Data privacy. Again, like I said before, be careful what you're typing in because it'll remember. Yes. Now, don't click for a second, but watch this carefully. If you are using ChatGPT, it is learning from you. It's getting all the information from you and collecting it. But there's a way to get around this. There's a way to say, no, I don't want you to have my information. So I'm going to say that one more time to make sure you're clear. This is saying I don't want you to have my information. So watch what happens. Yep. So I go up to my name. I go to settings. I go to data controls. And up to the top, improve the model. I turn it off. And now ChatGPT is not having my information. So I'm going to say it again. Up to your name, you go to settings, you go to data controls, and then you say, I don't want you to learn from me. And it will turn it off. Yes. Be careful of people saying, oh, this is AI, this is exciting, because not everything is AI, even if it says it is. Yep. So there's a term, AI washing, meaning they're using the term AI, but they don't actually use it. So Amazon had some shops called Just Walk Out. And what you did is you went into the shop and picked up whatever you want and then went out the door. And they said that artificial intelligence was watching and could track what you were doing. It wasn't actually doing that. In fact, it was a group in India, in your country, that were watching them through video. And Amazon were being very naughty and saying that it was artificial intelligence, but it wasn't. So watch out. Not everything is great just because it has artificial intelligence. Okay, this is a difficult word, affordances. That's like a very fancy word for benefits. So we're looking at the benefits now. We've looked at things we've got to avoid, and now let's look at benefits. Okay, there's 5 areas, and I'm going to have you doing things in a minute, but 5 areas of things that you can use ChatGPT or the others for benefit. Content creation, personalization and engagement, tutoring and 24/7 assistance, which is wonderful, assessment and task automation. Okay. Okay, so look what you can do. You can do many things. Your teachers can create lesson plans. You can have dynamic character role playing. I've asked various people how they use AI, and many are not using it this way yet. I'll give you some examples in a minute. Yeah? Yeah. You can do all sorts of things. You can have interactive debates. You can help with goal setting, interview practice. When you go into your next job, doesn't matter what level you are, if I was going for a job, I would be using these tools to practice giving me interviews. Yeah. Okay, so here's a good example. So this is a book that I believe you study here. I found it on the internet. I found this is one of the books you study. And this is Lord of the Flies. And what I say to ChatGPT is, I would like you to interview me. I'm going to play the part of this character. And what I would like you to do is I'd like you to ask me questions. So think about that. If you have to study a book, you could say that you're one of the characters from in that book and have it ask you questions. Yes? But what's fun is this is the app that we were talking about. This is ChatGPT. What's great is you don't have to just type. You can ask it verbally. And we're going to show you that in a second. Go to the next one. You can also do it, not yet here, but it's going to be with you anytime. If you have the desktop version, you can also see where that red circle is. You can also talk to it there as well, verbally. Yep. So here we go. Are you ready for this? So I'm going to go into my ChatGPT. And I'm going to talk to ChatGPT, and I'm going to give it this. Hello, Chat.
Hello, how can I assist you today?
I would like you to interview me. I'm going to play the part of Ralph in Lord of the Flies. And this is a fun one, a debate. Okay, on this one, I would like to have a debate, conversation, kind of an argument back and forth. I want you to assume, take on the role of William Shakespeare and argue against a meat-free diet. So I'm being silly. I'm asking a very old scholar to argue about something that's current day. And I'm asking it to present one argument at a time, and so on. So these are ideas for you to think about. Next slide. Oh, yeah, this is the next one, sorry. This is one more. I would like to have a mock discussion with you. I want you to be a business client. I know you have a business school here. I want you to be a business client who is not satisfied with a delivery. So ChatGPT is going to take on the role of someone that's kind of annoyed because it doesn't feel like you've done your job, and you've got to discuss back with ChatGPT to make that person feel better. Okay, I think we've got one more. So discuss and create a prompt. This is the time now that I would like you to focus. I'm going to come round. Think of a prompt that would be good for you. Think, do you want to debate? Do you want to be interviewed by ChatGPT? So think of a prompt that could help you learn. Okay, we're going to have just a few minutes, so I'm not going to be too long. I'm just going to come round and discuss either with a partner or you can think on your own. Okay, so I'm going to say it one more time. So think of a prompt that you'd like to use with ChatGPT that can help you learn.
I have a prompt written about my subject. What about AI? What about AI? What are you doing in our life? And extra stuff.
Okay.
I'm an AI student. I'm going to prompt with AI. What about you? And what things do you do for us? May I know about you for you?
Oh, great one, yes. Yeah, if you get stuck, what can you do? What can you do? Ask ChatGPT what it can do to help. That's a very good one.
So, if you permit, I ask some questions related to cryptography.
Can you ask it level questions about programming?
Not programming. Say, I want to generate some key in cryptography. Is it possible to use the generate cryptography? You know the concept of cryptography. The key play very important role in cryptography, but the fun encryption is decryption. By trying the several times for generating the key, but I couldn't success. We have any idea regarding
GPT, how can you help with cryptography? And what's interesting is people think that AI just is a general on basic, but it's the next person's put the hand up and offer a prompt. We will have special photographs together with your phones. Oh, I'm sure you'll think of some later, right? Let me carry. Oh, we've got prompts. Thank you.
give to my family and place me happy and keep them.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, have you got he gets a photograph. Okay, thank you. Okay, who else? You get a photograph? Wonderful, okay. Did you get that? Yeah, you've got to use it carefully. Okay, should we get a picture?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yay, well done, well done. Okay, right. So,
Disadvantages of AI. He's asking.
yes.
What are the
Oh, are you asking? Oh, I thought that was your prompt to ask ChatGPT. Is that your prompt for ChatGPT?
What are the major disadvantages?
What are they? Yes? And I can answer some of that as well, but do you want a picture? Huge. Absolutely huge disadvantages if you use it wrong. So there's many, many benefits to using AI. But for example, if you use AI when you shouldn't, to avoid doing work, to avoid learning, one, you could get caught and be in big trouble. But two, you could get yourself in a future job that you can't do. Because you've had ChatGPT do the work for you and you're not ready. So think about our future as in India. Can you imagine going to the doctor in 5, 10 years' time and you're really, really sick and you go to the doctor and the doctor hasn't a clue what they're talking about, they don't know, because they got their exams through ChatGPT. So our future, humanity, could be terrible. It could be really bad. We could have a whole future of people not thinking. And the second question, yes, was what's it going to look like in like 100 years? Okay, I don't know how to tell you this, but you don't have to think 100 years. In a year's time, the world is going to look very, very different. So from your lives so far, you've seen bits of changes. This is a huge change that's going to happen very, very quickly. And in fact, very soon we're going to have what's called agents. What agents do is do jobs for us. Like if I want to send an email, I would just say, send an email to Sarah telling her this. And it would respond, yes, okay, I'm done. In fact, we can do that pretty much now. But this is going to do very big tasks. And so we are going to see, if I was here next year, well, your lives are going to look very, very different because of what AI is going to do. It's going to do some great things in medicine, help us learn how to cure things, and hopefully we're using it the right way in that we're not cheating. So we're going to see massive differences, big differences. I cannot tell you how big. So okay, I'm going to stop there while I've got you thinking on that, and I'm going to pass back. Thank you. Is it lunch? It's lunch. Enjoy. Thank you, everyone. Welcome back after lunch. Okay, so what I'd like you doing now you're just back arrived after lunch is I would like you to start thinking again about what prompts you could give to ChatGPT to help you learn. To create a prompt that you type into ChatGPT to help you learn. Thank you, you're very focused. Thank you. Everybody else is kind of settling down. Okay, I'm going to say one more time and then you're going to have it translated. So think of a prompt that you could use with ChatGPT to help you learn. If you're struggling with a prompt, let me help. So, what's your name? Joshua, can you translate? So listen carefully, because this is what you need to think when you're doing your prompt. So Nadia, what is your favorite subject? Linux?
Yeah, that's
Computing?
should I say module in computer science?
Oh, okay. So in computer science, focusing on Linux, is there anyone famous in the field?
No, there is.
Yes?
Ramya.
Okay, that's the instructor. Okay, so you could ask ChatGPT, you could say to ChatGPT that Ramya is focused on Linux. Okay, what else? What other subjects? Let's have a look. Let me choose somebody else.
So this is a computer science grade.
They're all computer science. Let's have a look for some other computer science.
Lesson plan for my graduation in English literature starting in 1985. The plan should include 2 hours of screen time on social media.
Did you all hear that? Can you say it?
First, I want you to create for me a weekly lesson plan for my graduation in English literature starting in May 2025. The plan should include 2 hours of screen time on social media sites. I am not a tutor, but I believe they would become a professor.
Okay.
There are other opportunities.
A professor, so
Other than the content writing,
Okay?
They could also get into the field of journalism.
Yes?
So there are plethora of opportunities.
Yes. So a prompt for ChatGPT could be, and I'll have you translate this, that a prompt could be, ChatGPT, I'm going for a job as a professor of whatever. I would like you to interview me for that position.
So ChatGPT is probably நான் எப்படி இங்கிலீஷ் முடிச்சு எப்படி இங்கிலீஷ் கொடுத்துருக்கோம் ஒரு காலேஜில் ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஸர் ஆகும் இல்லை ஒரு ஸ்கூலில் ஒரு டீச்சர் ஆகும் அந்த ஜாபுக்கு என்ன இன்டர்வியூ எடுக்கலாம்
Study AI and what are the things I want to develop.
Oh, that's
what things I want to develop.
Yes, that is a very good prompt, and that reminds me as well, another really good, what colleges, schools or whatever cover my subject and how much do they cost? You could ask all sorts of questions. Do you want to translate that one?
So it answers, if you want a better writing, you can use ChatGPT, and if you want a real-time search, you can choose Gemini. So what's your opinion about Gemini or ChatGPT?
But that can change. Like Claude is very close, and Claude ever so often gets better. So what I tell you now, by next week, it can change again. So the best way to figure out is, for example, if I want an image, I try in ChatGPT, I try in Adobe Firefly, and I ask the same things in different places, and I just choose the best. But I can't then say, oh, the best one was ChatGPT, so that is it. Because by tomorrow, the other one can be updated. This is what I was saying before, that things update very, very quickly. Okay, let's have a look. Let's hit the next slide. Okay, ChatGPT, as you can see there, it's got text, it's got audio, and it can also see. Okay, do you want to click next? So I was asking before to download the ChatGPT app. It's entirely up to you if you do that, but it's very helpful. So click one more. Can you see over there, when you have the ChatGPT app, when I click on that, I can talk. Over here, click. We can also attach a photograph, take photographs, and hold up 1 second, and then watch this carefully. Some of you might not have this yet, but this will be out to everybody at some point. So where I talk to ChatGPT, when I click that now, go ahead, it now gives me the choice of video. So are you ready for this? Okay, I'm going back to ChatGPT, starting a new chat. I clicked on the button to talk. Hello, chat.
Hello, how can I assist you today?
Okay, I'm just going to click on the video.
Sure, take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, can you see?
Yes, I can see the audience. It looks like you're in a large hall. How can I help you with this station?
Okay, so what I would like you to do is I would like you to show you some people here in the audience, and let's see if they're smiling and having a good time.
I can see some faces, but I can't determine their expressions clearly. If there's anything else you'd like me to help with, feel free to ask.
Okay, I would like you to say hello to the lady in the yellow.
I can't interact with specific individuals. Is there anything else I can help you with?
You know what it's trying to do? It's trying to ensure your privacy. It's trying to be nice and friendly. So let's point it a different direction. Okay, chat, take a look at this.
Certainly. I'm seeing a different angle now. How can I assist you with this view?
What can you see?
I can see a stage with curtains and a screen. Is there something specific you'd like me to look at?
No, that's fine, but if I had a mathematical problem on paper in front of me, could you help me solve that problem?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to help with any mathematical problems you have. Just let me know what you need help with.
Like an extra instructor, a teacher, stood behind you talking. So I could solve a mathematical problem, and it could be talking and helping me. Again, we don't want it to do the work for us if we're supposed to be working, but it's an extra tutor. So when I was at school, I couldn't afford extra fancy private tutors. That was only for the very wealthy, lots of money. But now with ChatGPT, I have a personal instructor that I can ask, and it doesn't matter what time of day, whether it's 1 a.m. in the morning, really early, I can ask, and it will help me. Okay, next slide. So solving mathematical problems, that's just an example. In computer science, you'll have lots of mathematics. If you get stuck, don't ask it to do it for you. Ask it, how could I solve this problem? And then you can try working through and have it help. Okay. Here's some example for the students in here. Here's all the different things. You've got that 24/7 tutoring, in other words, anytime tutor. It can help with study and time management. Like I have a little brother who's constantly talking to me while I'm studying. What can I do? And ChatGPT will give out strategies. And even you can do practice tests. If you've got an exam coming up, or if you're an instructor and you need someone to create a test for you, ChatGPT is a good thing to do that, but you can have lots of practice tests. Is anyone learning English in here? Anyone learning English? I'm hoping so. It could talk, thank you. It could talk in English to you, and you could have a conversation as well as your own first language. Okay. Assessments, again, choosing lots of different types of assessments to help you make sure you get to where you should be. Yeah? Yeah. Automation. Okay, so this is where the world's going to go if we're using ChatGPT. And I keep saying ChatGPT, but it's all these programs. So automation, we want to offload tasks that we don't need to spend time doing. So we don't want to always sit in front of our computer and write emails. We don't want to do certain things that we're not learning about, but we want to do quickly. Like if we have to think of titles or summaries, we can ask ChatGPT to do that. Okay. Okay, prompt engineering. This is what I've been having you do. I've been having you think about prompts. Yes? So how do we package up words to tell it what we want? Yes? Okay, so I would say trash in, the American word trash. Trash in, trash out. But that's not true. Because even if our prompt's not very good, it still gives a fairly good output. It still gives something that's kind of useful. But it's not always exactly what we want. So here's the problem with prompts. It cannot align to what we want. It can misunderstand context. It can be irrelevant in what it tells us. It can be bias, inaccuracies, or lack of customization. So imagine going back to the beginning, our expert person, our expert assistant. To get what you need to get from that expert assistant, you want them to know exactly what you want. So you have to tell them everything you want. Okay? Oh, prompts. This is an extra one here. Just to say, prompts are what all these companies are making money on, because prompts are the most important thing about getting you what you need. Okay? Okay, here is a framework for prompts. Hopefully, if you're not understanding everything I say, hopefully the visual here will help. So, if you want to be an expert in designing a prompt, these are some of the things you need to think about. So, first one, purpose. What do you want? So when you write your prompt, tell it what you want. You want a summary, you want a poem, you want a song. Whatever you want, you need to tell ChatGPT. You could also, which is very important, and it makes a difference, you could also say, be an expert computer scientist and write me a summary of whatever. So you could say, be this expert and make this thing. Yeah? Audience. Depends who you want to give things to, you want to make sure it's right. So if, for example, you're my audience, if I was writing something, asking ChatGPT to write something, I might ask it to write in your first language. We also might want to think about length, keeping it short. You don't want something too long. So again, you choose, you tell it what you want. And the last one, the tone. Does anybody do tone, I wonder, when they're talking about their prompt? Try sometimes when you get home, try doing a prompt, and then try doing a prompt, just the same thing, but tell it something like, I want you to be professional, I want you to be friendly, I want you to be legalistic, it can be anything. Or you could even say, I want you to write it in the style of something, like Shakespeare. Write me an email about whatever, keep it short, and write it as if you were Shakespeare. So think about all these prompts, and then when you think you've got your prompt, the last two, look at your prompt. Is it a good prompt? And then the last one, we'll revise. I think we jumped there, revise. So if you get your prompt, then think about, okay, now next, I want to, oh, no, so it's okay. You've got to reflect. Whatever ChatGPT gives you, that doesn't have to be it. You could tell it again, I want you to fix it. I want you to make it longer. I want you to make it shorter, whatever you want it to do. Okay, at this point, I would normally have you thinking about the prompts and then editing. Okay, but you've done a little bit of that before, so we're going to carry on. Okay, so I've given you a framework for writing a prompt. But now, I'm going to give you an extra 3 that make a huge difference. Computer science people might recognize some of this. What I do is I'll show you 3 things now. First one, chain of thought. So, I want a recipe for a chocolate cake. I'm not going to ask for a recipe for chocolate cake. I'm going to first say, think step by step. Think chain of thoughts. What would be the best chocolate cake as a recipe? So what I'm doing here is I'm asking it to think step by step and then do that thing. So before you ask it to think through chain of thought. If you want to put C of T, you can, that works. Think through chain of thought and it will go step by step and then you can have it do that thing. Okay, I want to go on to the next. The other one is tree of thought. We did a little bit kind of over there before, but imagine you want a song, a new song written, and you liked Beethoven, or you liked Taylor Swift, or whatever it is, whatever you have over here. You could say, okay, I would like a song, I would like tree of thought, so I would like to think of the experts that can help me do this, and then do it. So chain of thought is think step by step. Tree of thought is what experts can help me do that. Last one. And my very, very favorite, I use this all the time, is, again, think of your expert that's helping you. When you have an expert that's helping you, when you tell that expert what you want, they don't just go off, do they? They stay and ask you questions. So what I do is when I've got something that's very important, like I want a recipe for chocolate cake, I'll often ask, what questions do you have for me before you give me the answer? And it will give me questions, I'll quickly answer those questions, and it will go off and do. Okay, so please try using that one, that's a very important one. So ask ChatGPT, tell it what you want, and then say, what questions do you have for me to help you do that? Okay, next. Okay, I'm going to stop there a second because we've gone through a lot of prompts. I'd like you to talk to the person next to you and think through those things. Think through chain of thought, tree of thought, ask a question and think through some of those prompts. So talk to the person next to you. Is Joshua here that could translate that? Let's see. Could I have help with translation? Dr. Rajalakshmi? Could I have help with translation just to make sure everyone knows what they're doing? So I want them to think through those chain of thought, tree of thought, those ways of prompting. Yes, and talk to the person next to them. Lots of different things, and let me show you what they are. Okay, so if you want to design training for yourself or for somebody else, there's some tools here you can use. Pedagogy AI is one tool. Audio pen, prompting. Go ahead. This is Pedagogy AI. Pedagogy AI, you can ask for all sorts of lesson plans or something that could help you. Audio pen, you can get audio pen on your phone, and when you think of things, you could talk to your phone and it will help you summarize what you want. And it will remove all the extra thinking words that you don't need. That's a very handy tool. Yes?
Building training session on helping people with science become scientists. Thinking about what to do, I probably want to show the products of cleaning. Then
thinking.
I want to be how to recognize how to perception.
So that was me trying to think through things in my head, and it's rewriting all those bits of thoughts into what I needed. Okay, next. So it literally produced whatever I needed without me having to spend ages going through all of the thoughts. Presentations. Okay. All these tools are free, and if you need to have a slide presentation, you can literally make a slide presentation in under 1 minute. So watch carefully. Next slide. So watch carefully, we're going to hit it, and it's going to be less than a minute, and I'm going to type in what slides I want. Okay, so watch. Look, I'm creating a design presentation. I've got my box there, I can type in what I want. So I type in whatever. I had a company, so I typed in that. Contact lenses, whatever. Then it's going off, it's showing me slides that might be relevant, but the top two there, okay, I'm clicking on one. I can choose what design I like. Select which one. And if I like it, and I mean these are any types of slides, contact lens, anything, there are all my slides. So in less than 1 minute, we can create a slide deck. Now, if you're supposed to be learning by doing the slide deck, you do it yourself. But if you needed a quick slide deck, slide presentation, you can have these tools do it very, very quickly for you. Yes? Okay. Okay, there are the tools again. Brisk Teaching, Canva, Slides Go, Slides AI. You can use them all for free. Yep. Okay, well, what to consider? Think about the AI again. Remember, it doesn't always get everything right. But you could have some really good prompts to help you get to what you want. Okay. Okay, I think this is one of the last ones. AI Tutor. So there's a program called AI Tutor, and you can have in the program what are called sidekicks. And again, I think I've gone on the contact lens theme, because I was trying to show any example. So click on. So I can create a sidekick. If you know what you're studying, like mathematics, you can use the sidekick that the program has directly, or you can create your own. Yeah. Okay, here's reminders now as I'm finishing up. I'm going to give you some last reminders. Yeah. Okay, take a look at this. Think of all that I've told you today. Think how you can be ethical, how you can use ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever, how you can use it carefully and properly. So think about intellectual property. Think about the fact that maybe turn the settings so it's not giving it lots of information that you don't want to give it. Think about the bias. Think about fake content that might be there. Think about all the things that come with this while you're thinking about using AI. Yes? And I'll probably go to the next. Next. Again, these are extra examples of prompts about thinking about how you can write the best prompt. Having the best prompt can earn you Millions. There's programs called like Kangeyam, like Khan Academy. All they did to create this genius tool was having the prompts there that you could use. Here I've given you some examples of prompts. Summarize the main points of an article. What 2 things might I miss? And explain this to me. Yes? Yeah, and I'm going to show you a different version of this now. Okay, the last big tool that's actually very, very exciting. So Notebook LM. So imagine you've just come out of a class, and in that class, you were asked to read a paper. In that paper, you would read that paper like the instructor told you, but you could then put it into Notebook LM to do extra things to help you learn. So, yeah. So I think this is a video. Yeah, so watch carefully. So I'm in Notebook LM. I can go to Create New. I can upload whatever source as long as it's not copyright. I can do something from Google Drive, a web page, whatever. I can upload to Notebook LM. And then I'm going to go to an example here. So I had an article that I put in. And then what I can do is I can go into the different places and I can say, okay, I want a timeline, I want frequently asked questions. I can ask for lots of things, but the fun thing about this, which hopefully, can you see the AI, the audio overview? So I've put an article in, listen to what it will do. So it's loading. Okay, I think it stopped on here, that's fine. What it will do is we'll create a podcast. So if you put an article in to Notebook LM, it will create a podcast with 2 people talking, explaining what's happening in that article. It's like a news report. So that's a really fun one. If you're learning about something, if you put it into Notebook LM, you could listen to it talking through. You can ask it frequently asked questions. You can do all sorts. Okay. Final thoughts. Are you ready? Focus on enhancing. Don't replace your thinking. Make sure you foster discussions, in other words, have lots of discussions with people. Training opportunities, it's great you're here listening. And be agile and aware. What I mean by that is be ready, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Okay. There we go. There's actually a QR code there if anyone wants to snap it. You'll get lots of different videos on me explaining things. And last one is, oh, we're not going to do that. We can look at GPTs at some point, but not for now. I think you're all about to finish, so we're going to stop the slides. Thank you. Questions? Okay, we're now moving to any questions that you might have for me. I think we have some questions online. Did we have some questions online? And I have a microphone here if we need to.
Any questions from the audience? You saw using Kangeyam.
Oh, that's a good question. Many people started focusing on AI when ChatGPT came out. I didn't. I was way ahead. So in 2017, I designed the first course in the world to teach teachers how to use artificial intelligence in the classroom. So I designed the first course in the world in 2017, and then all my research from then, well, not every piece of research, but most of it was on artificial intelligence. So I published a lot of works.
My question to you is, in ChatGPT, if we communicate, we get lots of information, lots of things, but there might be some issues like flaws. And if I'm asking it a question like, what would my schedule be today? And it wouldn't know I'm sick if I don't mention to it. Or if I'm asking questions like curriculum maker, or stuff like learning something which I do not know about. Why it might make some flaws. So how will I identify if whether it's saying the right, giving me the right answers or the wrong ones? How can I filter them?
That is an absolutely wonderful question. So think about it this way. When you're on the internet, do you believe everything you see on the internet? No, if you saw pictures on the internet that showed fishes in trees, you'd think, that's not quite right. That's what you have to do every time ChatGPT and these programs, every time they give you an output. But in some ways, I hope they never get to the point where they're always accurate. Because you know what could happen then? We could stop thinking. We could just trust everything it says, and we don't want to be in that position. We always want to be critical consumers of everything we see, hear, read. So we don't ever want it to be absolutely perfect. We always have to think very carefully. And like I said at the beginning, yes, it has inaccuracies, and it also has hallucinations, where it sounds like it's accurate, but it's not. But it sounds very real. So whenever you're using programs, I have people all ages. I have experts showing me what they've created and then saying, oh, that's great. And it's not. So we always have to look very carefully what it gives us. And there was a question over here. Yes. Yes. Okay, I can go back up here. I'm understanding everybody now. Okay. Oh, watch what's happening with artificial intelligence constantly. And last week, a program called DeepSeek came out. And yes, I've got it on my phone. Down there. I've got it. And what's special about this program is it's supposed to be as good as ChatGPT. Doesn't have all the same functionality, but it's supposed to be as good, but it's really cheap to make. So people in China created this tool that's now going to be in competition with ChatGPT. So again, today ChatGPT may be the best tool. Tomorrow it might be DeepSeek. Yes, but it's causing chaos because it's very cheap when ChatGPT is very expensive. Let me give you an extra little thought. When I ask for ChatGPT to make an image, to make a picture, it takes 1 bottle of water for every picture. So that's just me. I ask for lots of pictures. So that's a lot of water that it's using. So we have to think about that on the world. So we don't want to use a lot of resources on the world to have AI working. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I think we're done. Thank you very, very much for listening. Thank you. And
in learning towards such future generation tools. And I would like to thank our chief guest who showed such huge efforts in showing her presence here today. I really appreciate your efforts, ma'am, all the way from America. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate all the department staff members and the students, especially the English department students, who show us such a huge effort in presenting such events. Thank you so much, girls and my friends. We really appreciate. We learned a lot. Hope this will help us in achieving our future goals. Thank you.
In fact, it started with the LinkedIn of Dr. Compton that I saw, and everything then happened really fast. I got my bookings done. So I came with a lot of expectation here, but ultimately I became a student, and there were so many things that I saw I wasn't even aware. Coming from the work that I do, we use a lot of AI stuff, but this has been amazing and so. Thank you so much, everybody. I mean, like, it's been really great to be here. I look forward to what's going to workshop. If it is here,
A very good evening. Very good evening, ma'am. I am from this St.Joseph College for Women, and this session is very useful. And this session has been the best example for international workshop. The session is very useful, and I hope this will be very useful for the future, which we can apply on how to work on ChatGPT. And I thank the management, especially the secretary sister and principal ma'am, for organizing this event so very impressive, and it was very useful for us and very informative. I thank this. And I thank you, ma'am, for spending your precious time here. And we are so impressed.
Camera back on. Camera back on.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation. And all praise goes to Neema, Dinkeshri, Ritika, and Pragati Suri of St. Joseph College.